Big Questions with the Dead Milkmen. Each week, while working on the new album, the Dead Milkmen ask each other a question.
So this week, our big question comes from our viewer, William Bedenton.
If that is his real name.
And he says, if you could hang out with anyone, either from the past or present, for a day, who would it be? So I guess I'll go first since I was the one that was responsible for coming up with the question. Thank you, William, for prompting me to come up with a question. I actually found this harder than I thought it would be. So there are a couple people crossed my mind. One was Alexander the Great. I went through a period where I read a lot of books about Alexander the Great. Interesting character. There's a whole series of books by a writer named Mary Renault. They're like historical novels. And I read a couple of biographies. Interesting character. Another person I thought of, and I wondered, I hope I'm not stealing any thunder from Rodney, would Christopher Hitchens might be interesting.
No, I actually met Christopher Hitchens.
So yeah, I know you did.
That was it, but yeah,
that was really cool. Yeah, you met him at a talk.
Yeah.
But I decided to go with another person that came to mind pretty quickly, which was Andy Partridge from the band XTC. Because he's an interesting character. He has written a lot of my favorite songs. He was in one of my favorite bands, which is XTC. He's a goofy English nerd, strange character. He likes to paint little metal soldiers. I think you do too, Rodney, right?
That's right.
And he's an excellent guitar player. He's an excellent songwriter. He still lives in the little small town that he, I guess, grew up in, Swindon. And yeah, I think it would be cool to hang out with him. Maybe hang out, get a coffee in the morning, walk around Swindon. He could tell me all the little interesting tidbits about the town. We could get a pub lunch somewhere, maybe hang out in his shed in the afternoon. And who knows, maybe I could even record some music with him, maybe play drums or something. And anyway, so that's who I choose, Andy Partridge from XTC.
Woo! Who wants to go next?
Dan, how about you go next?
Yeah.
Who would I like to hang out with, past, present, or future? Or is just past or present?
Anybody. The question was anybody from the present or the future, present or past.
Okay. Oh, hey, Joe. I didn't see you there. I'm gonna say, well, it's a toss-up between. I'm going to say Jesus. I'd like to see Jesus.
Jesus.
Just one day. Yeah.
Like the historical Jesus.
Yeah.
That'd
I'd like to see what he was all about. I mean, and see if he was really as, cool as everybody said he was. Also Beethoven, I think. I'd like to see him making music while he was deaf. I think that's really interesting.
They had a thing on today. I found out, I think, where they actually addressed that. Was he actually deaf when he made music? But I didn't get to see that one. But I'll probably link to it in the in those little ID things.
So Jesus, Jesus.
Yeah, but it would be the historic Jesus, which might be a bummer because he's not going to have magical powers. It's just going to be some guy walking around the Middle East, and he's going to be angry at Apollonius of Tyana for thinking of the stuff before he did. I'm just saying.
Well, I mean, with my luck,
Apollonius of Tyana, get the two of them together.
With my luck, it's the day that he, trashes that temple. The day that he's angry and throws everything. And I'd be like, oh, that's
would he be in?
One of the best parts of Jesus Christ Superstar, though. I'd ask him.
I saw that. I saw a production of that. It was good. I met the guy afterwards. It's kind of not the same thing.
You met Jesus?
Yeah. Well, it doesn't count if you've already met him. Yeah.
No, he was gay, which is fine. But Jesus.
Well, Jesus
so
spent a night in the garden. There's a whole thing that was kind of expunged from the Bible about Jesus spending the whole night with that youth. There's a whole thing about Jesus and the youth in the garden, and then they spent the night together, and it's a weird chop job there. So we're saying, yeah, and there's nothing wrong.
What garden?
Yeah.
This was the night before. This was the Last Supper.
Yeah, the night in the garden before he's hauled off.
He's like, hell, if I'm going out, I'm going out with a bang.
Before the soldiers show up and grab him, and then one of their ears gets chopped off by a disciple. That would have been me. I'd have been that disciple. And then Jesus just sticks it back on, and they never go, hey, there's something wacky special about this guy. I'm going to sock him because he's an old bum.
Did you have a comment, Joe?
Yeah, Joe, who would you like to meet?
No, I was going to say, did you have a comment about Dan's pick?
Oh.
Well, I thought that we would be hanging out with him in current time and not going, like you said, with my luck, I'll go back to a certain day.
Oh, so you would be.
I thought the question was,
who would you like?
Hang out, and we can bring a person from the past or the present and hang out.
Read a lot in
right now.
I don't know. Maybe I got it wrong.
Oh, well, that's okay. That's your shifting twist. Let's hear what you.
Some people say Jesus is in their lives currently because he's he's a past figure, but just like I guess you could. My person that I decided I would like to hang out with is Abraham Lincoln.
Interesting.
But today.
That would be the longest short of it.
Because I just want to see what he thinks. He was a president who was either loved or hated, and it was a very divisive time back then. I want to see his take on now. Just take him through, hang out from morning to night, maybe go to DC with him and show him what's changed and see what he thinks of, of the internet, see what he thinks of President Trump and the nation as it is now.
He was a Republican.
He was a Republican. What does he?
No, he was for one term. Actually, he had to run he was dropped by the Republican Party and ran as an independent second term. But he was our first atheist president.
See what he thinks of Lincoln.
I like to pick his brain and hear him tell stories that maybe see what he thinks of all how people revere him now. The fact that he's on the penny. There's a big highway named after him. Car companies named, or cars models are named after him.
No, yeah.
I don't know.
There's also a car named after Gerald Ford, I think.
That's not Gerald Ford. No.
Okay.
I don't know.
So I had to put, for my choice, I had to lay down rules. Because I thought, it's like Dean went with Alexander the Great, and I'd actually, for a minute, I had thought of Emperor Julian. Problem is, he didn't speak English, and the best I can do is some ancient Greek.
Julius Augustus or Julius Caesar?
No, Julian, Emperor Julian, the one who actually, he followed the Christian emperors, and he actually almost brought back paganism. Vidal wrote a great book on Emperor Julian. I don't know if I can see it. Every time we take out a book anyway, our ratings drop. So yeah, I would like to be him, but again, we're not going to be able to communicate. And plus, I mean, I'm under quarantine now, so I don't want to give him anything. And then I thought, well, you've got your Martin Luther Kings, your Einsteins, but not really on the same level that was them. You're not. I'm not worthy of meeting them. So I came up with an answer.
Oh, he's getting out the bong. No.
Jack Parsons.
Who?
Yeah, Jack Parsons, the rocket scientist sex machine. I'd like to meet him because he was instrumental in us getting to the moon. He was an absolute genius. He was, in that sense, he was very rational, but he was also an occultist. And I'd like to find out the dichotomy between those two ways of thinking. On the one hand, you're spending your days working out these complex formulas for rocket fuel, working out trajectories of rockets, and you're spending your night having these awesome satanic orgies. And he was Aleister Crowley's adopted son, which is our second Crowley mention. His wife, or his second wife, I think it was the sister of his first wife, was an artist in her own, and she's fascinating. And he would have parties, and at the parties would be like L. Ron Hubbard, and Kenneth Anger, and that's our our fourth Kenneth Anger call out. Yeah, actually, Kenneth Anger, Invocation of the Pleasure Dome, I think it is the film that stars Parsons' wife that Anger did. But I just like to find out a lot about. I don't want to be there again. We were talking about the days, the last day when he blew himself up. Although I would like to find out, there's a lot of people that think that the government blew him up. Normally, I don't go in for crazy conspiracy theories, but I'm going to tell you right now, that's something that the CIA would have done in the 1950s. They would have blown your ass up. So Jack Parsons. Went out to you.
Uh-oh, there he is.
That's not Jack Parsons.
That's Bobby Brady hanging out with Jesus.
Jesus. Jesus puts the bass back together.
This one's good too.
These are really disturbing.
What's he doing? Pulling somebody out of the water?
Yeah, because he's able to walk on it.
Oh, that's true.
Much like I'd like to see. Here's the thing. I also thought Barry from Shriekback, but then I don't want to walk down the street, me and Barry, and we bump into you and Andy Partridge. That's gonna be rough.
We would have a hell of a time at the pub, wouldn't we?
Again, like Apollonius of Tyana and Jesus getting, or we should be Yeshua. Let's call him by his real name. Yeshua ben Yusuf was Jesus' full name. So, I'm on a full name basis with him. I get his mail delivered here all the time. I have to send it on back.
My second choice was David Bowie.
Would have been great to me. But again, I put him in that I'm not worthy category.
Well, I'm not worthy.
I mean, obviously below Einstein
or Abraham Lincoln or anybody really, but
yeah.
And I don't think that matters.
I think I'm worthy of meeting Jack Parsons.
All right.
Another one that I had on my list was Brian Eno.
Brian Eno would be fun to meet.
That's a good one.
I can't remember if I've ever met him, which means I probably have. Generally, if I don't remember meeting you, we've met and we've had a good time.
I'm sure you would remember if you met Brian Eno.
What?
You're saying you might have met Brian Eno and forgotten?
Yeah, at the Bald Keyboard.
Well, I guess somebody did tell a story to us that when Brian Eno was producing Tin Machine,
mm-hmm.
that in the studio, the guitar player, Reeves Gabriel, played him our song Lego My Ego because we mentioned Brian Eno in that song.
Right, I remember that.
From the story I remember is that he was quite amused by that song. So
well, that's so good. I'm glad. There was some band that wrote a song, Brian Eno, and then I don't think he liked it too much. But yeah, Brian Eno was at they had him at the Met where they have Duchamp's urinal, the R. Mutt urinal, and Eno peed in it. So
if you follow my Instagram, you've been seeing me.
Oblique Strategies, yeah.
Oblique Strategies cards by Brian Eno and Peter Schmidt. So
I have the Bowie app, and on the Bowie app, they have the Oblique Strategy cards. And I go in there pretty regularly. It'll take forever for the Bowie app to load. So yeah, just take my word for it. If you get the Bowie app, they also have the Oblique Strategies, and I take those out. But
all right, well that's cool. Everybody had some good choices. So at this point, we decide who goes next. Is it Dan? Are you next? I think you are.
I think I'm last. So did everybody? Yeah, I guess I would be.
There's a wealth of questions in the last one. If you look down, people ask questions. And
if Rodney posts this, you can check out who might come up with. If viewers want to post potential questions, they can in the comments. Not necessarily, we won't choose them if we don't deem them worthy.
Although I want to do a whole video where we just go down and read like the non-crazy.
All right, we can do one of those
short
too.
video, like 30 seconds. Yeah. That one's crazy. I answered that.
Yeah, we'll see how we're all doing a week from today, because I feel a lot different than last week. So I think we're all going to.
Yeah, well, are you okay? Are you doing all right?
Yeah, no, health. Yeah, physically healthy, sure. Yeah, mentally.
Mentally healthy?
Well, yeah, it's good. It's yeah. Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, it's definitely a weird time. So.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Yeah. I've actually I got some good advice from someone to just listen to Fauci and nobody else. There's a lot of other stuff going around and like I don't know, it's hard to know what to believe sometimes.
It's not hard to know what to believe. If it comes from a doctor, or if it's on Fox News, no, you don't believe it. If someone says, hey, my uncle knows a doctor who, no, you don't believe. This is easy. Like I never understood how people fall for bullshit all the time. I was born with a really good bullshit detector, and it's like it goes off like, hey, did you know Sylvia Browne predicted this in a book in 1950? No, she fucking didn't. You goddamn moron piece of shit. All right, she did not do. Oh my god! I just like my anger level is just like, and I know some people are trying to be nice by telling you these things, like hey, on Tuesday, don't go outside. It's the day that the virus peaks. So the virus peaks all around the world on a certain day. Wow. Yeah, I heard this.
Yeah. Oh no, I don't listen. I'm not listening to that stuff.
Oh, good.
It's just like because I'm still working, so like I'm still cleaning, and I just want to make sure I'm cleaning properly enough that I'm not enabling its spread or whatever. So
okay.
Are people actually using the church?
Yeah, not any parishioners, but the pastors. They record like a message, and the people in the church watch it every day. The music director does something with music, and I'm cleaning. I'm cleaning up after them, making sure that they're safe too. But
I
they're not
applaud
letting
you. Thank
anybody
you
else.
very much.
You're on the front line.
Although if it's a church,
but
should God keep it clean? And if he
it's
doesn't,
nice because it's helping. It's helping people feel like they still, there's still like a sense of hope because like the lights are on, and there's cars out front, and we're in there doing stuff. And I don't see any other churches on my way home that are open, and it's kind of depressing. And when people are scared, they look for things to do.
But they're not having a lot of people in there at once, are they?
It's just at the most there's 5 of us, and we're all kind of separated. And I'm going around cleaning with, I got gloves and I got disinfectants and stuff.
You're gargling with it every room you enter.
It's like you see these weird snake handler churches, so they're packing them in. They're like, we're not afraid. I'm like, they've done this during every pandemic where they pack people. They did it during the bubonic plague. They packed a bunch of people in. Like, we're not afraid. He'll help us.
Well, I'm grateful that they've allowed me to work because I still have an income, because if I wasn't when I'm not working, I'm not making any money. So I lost one of my jobs. So this is at least I'm able to do this full time. So it's cool.
Cool.
But it's hard being at home a lot too with the kids.
Yeah, I'm sure it's stressful.
Joe, are you in Wagon Town?
Yes.
You can tell that Wagon Town decor, can't you? IKEA has a full Wagon Town section.
How's that working out?
Okay. I used a tractor mower for the first time today.
Ooh.
Wow.
It's kind of fun, but kind of intimidating because there's a hill and I don't want to tip over. And
Abraham Lincoln once rode a tractor mower 40 miles to return a penny. It has face on it.
It has face on it. Did you see the train story?
Yes, I did.
David Lynch.
Yes, David Lynch's G-rated movie. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I keep telling people, and no one. You're the first person that's actually seen it.
I don't think I've seen
it.
I saw it in the theater.
Oh,
you make up with his brother, but he's had a stroke. He's not allowed to drive, so he gets on a tractor and goes like 800 miles on a tractor
cool.
on LSD because David Lynch.
You would expect that from David Lynch. That's really what happens.
Okay, are we done here?
Thank you, everyone. Is there anyone we didn't offend? I don't know.
So, all right, well, cool. Thank you. Dan, you're next with the question. This says it's recording. I'll post the recording up on the Dropbox file.
Yeah, and I should have it hopefully ready for Saturday. I don't know if I'll have time to give you guys a preview, but
that's all right. That's all right. And we'll go from there. Thanks everybody for joining and all that good stuff.
All right.
Hope everybody has a good week and stay happy, healthy, and all the best to all of you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
All right, see you guys.
I like to picture Jesus like a mischievous badger, like a muscular trapeze artist, like a shapeshifter or a changeling, like that guy. Ever hear that TV show Manimal? I like to think of Jesus as a figure skater. He wears like a white outfit, and he does interpretive ice dances of my life's journey, like a dirty old bum. And he comes up to me, I'm about to sock him one, because he's a dirty old bum. And then I said, wait a minute, better not sock this guy, something special about him.
And it turns out it's Jesus.
Yeah.